Sick.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, and I take this obligation freely, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. That is the oath. He didn't take an oath to keep you safe. He didn't take an oath to keep you virus-free.
That's right.
They didn't take an oath to stick a needle in your arm.
That's right.
They didn't take an oath to lock down your house. They didn't take an oath to shut down your business. They took an oath that said the exact opposite. That oath says, I will defend your business to stay open, whatever the cost. I will defend your right to sit here and stand here in this Capitol at whatever cost. They took the oath to say, I will defend your right to peaceably assemble. Even the Supreme Court of the United States says those steps and that sidewalk are the traditional place where people are to bring their grievances to the government. Now let me read to you just a couple things, because this is the California Constitution, and you should have a pocket California Constitution. You need to have at least the first 4 articles of the California Constitution in your pocket. You need to know it, okay? I love this one. Are you ready? Section 1. Article 1. Now remember, he took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the State of California without hesitation or mental reservation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Article 1, Section 1. All people are by nature free and independent and have inalienable rights. You are born free. And you have to know that. Because if you do not know that, if you think your rights come from this Constitution, if you think that man in his ivory throne tower has the authority to give and take away your rights, then you must admit a certain truth. You must admit that you were born a slave. You must admit that you were born a slave, and it takes people like Newsom to hand out your rights. So are you free or are you a slave? Then he can't take those rights away. He cannot take away what you were born with because he never gave it to you in the first place.
Amen.
It says you are born free and independent.
Predestinated.
You know what independence relies on?
Unto sonship.
Ownership of property. If you do not own and control your property, you are not independent. You are at best an indentured servant and at most a slave.
Wow.
And when Newsom comes on and says, I have to shut down your business, he didn't build it.
Right.
You guys worked your lives for these businesses. You worked for generations to build a heritage for your family. He didn't build it, and he can't take it away.
Find the highest tree and string them up.
Listen. You have inalienable rights. Among these are enjoying and defending life, liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and pursuing and obtaining safety, happiness, and privacy. That is your Constitution. He took an oath to support and defend your right, your ability to, I want you to hear this, to possess and protect your own property, your right to defend your life and your liberty, your right to pursue and obtain your own safety. He's not responsible for your safety. You're responsible for your safety. He's not responsible for your life. You're responsible for your life.
Amen.
He property. It is your possession. It is your right, and it is inalienable.
Amen. Amen.
Now, there are a bunch of things in here, but there's one more section that I want to read to you. Article 3, Section 3. The powers of state government are legislative, executive, and judicial. Persons charged with the exercise of one power may not exercise either of the others except as permitted by this Constitution. Article 4, Section 1. The legislative power of this state is vested in the California legislature. Article 5, Section 1. The supreme executive power of the state is vested in the governor. The governor shall see that the law is faithfully executed. The legislature is delegated the authority to make laws by the Constitution, not the governor. The governor, by the Constitution, is prohibited from making laws because it violates an essential principle of liberty called separation of powers. James Madison, 4th President of the United States.
Captain America.
History calls him the father of the Constitution. Says that when the legislative and the executive powers rest in one person, liberty cannot survive. I want you to know that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by Gavin Newsom, endowed by your county commissioner, endowed by your Supreme Court, endowed by your Creator with certain inalienable rights. Now listen, it says, among these rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And when you study with me the Constitution, you understand that pursuit of happiness is a direct relationship to that Section 1, Article 1, Section 1 in your Constitution, the ownership and control of your property. But then it goes on. This is probably one of the most important things. And that to secure your rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. Do you understand? The only reason that building exists, the only reason Gavin Newsom is justified in getting a paycheck is to secure your rights. So let's just review rather quickly. Number 1, the California Constitution says your rights are inalienable. You are born free and independent. Those rights, life, liberty, property, and the defense of those things belong to you, not to them. That the legislature makes the laws, not the governor. And he took an oath that said he will support and defend those things right there. Do you know what that means?
He's in
He
violation.
is violating the supreme law of California, and I will tell you right now, he is violating at least 7 sections of your state constitution.
Arrest Gavin Newsom!
He made you a promise. He swore to you a promise that he would defend your rights through that constitution. And he is not defending them, he is denying them. He is failed.
But I thought he was above the law.
And he needs to go. We need to be the people that our founders wanted us to be. We have this spirit in us. We have this spirit in us. This spirit that said 244 years ago, no more kings. And now you have a governor that looks more like a monarch than a servant of the people, and we need to repeat again in California in 2020, no more kings.
Amen.
No more kings. No more They call us radical. They call us extreme. Do you know what is radical and extreme?
Yes.
One man exercising power over 40 million people. That is radical and that is extreme. Do you know what is radical and extreme?
New World Order agenda?
Setting aside 240 years of history and saying, I am going to be a governor that rules over the people. That is radical. Don't let them name call you. Don't let them shut you down. Don't let them make you scared. If we stand together, we cannot be defeated.
Amen. Amen.
Thomas Paine said it's not in numbers that we gather our strength, but in unity. And we must together say, we will not comply. We will not comply anymore. I want you to understand, you don't have to comply. I hate this term, civil disobedience. I hate it. Number one, you're not being disobedient. He is. You are engaging in peaceful, non